he's dead to Leander. No 1 HP.
Or no flash. Or no play. Or no play.
I'm in there.
HX no flash. I saw it.
We win.
We win. You Sarah said we're good in there.
Yeah.
Call it fate, call it destiny. IMT are murdering Cloud9.
Winnie.
I can kill them. End the game.
No. GG.
Nothing to lose.
I have flash W on this Ahri. 1 second, 2 seconds, 2 seconds, splashing in. She's dead, one shot. I'm fine.
I'm getting in. Look what they're not. Look.
I'm done.
Get out and I will look.
Careful, flash hook.
Look.
Look Nautilus.
Yeah, maybe we can end mid now.
Holy, you're smart, bro.
Professional poppy player.
Actually, professional poppy
GG
enjoyer.
guys.
Chad Caster
The last bullet!
Oh, he tried to juke it at the end too. He was zigzagging. How do I get away? The minions have auto lock.
Normally you farm the minions. Today the minion farms you.
Even the Dignitas minions are better. Flowers.
Oh man.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wait.
Penta. Please.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay.
They need Renekton flash or something. And AD in a flash.
Alright, kill them though.
Yeah. I think Renekton has flash.
Renekton. Volibear.
Carry them.
No flash.
Yo, carry them.
Go on. No, I already died 4 times, bro. I already died 4 times.
Oh, you
Look at my
have to.
freaking stats.
Yeah.
I already died 4 times.
Yo, Kai'Sa. What am I doing?
Welcome to waiting room.
Does he do that every time?
Yeah, he does.
What are you doing, Raz?
What are you talking about? You guys are
Yeah.
going a little too crazy.
I love the 100 Thieves comms there with Quid just like running it down on Yeon and cackling.
Yeah,
because-
he has a really good cackle.
Yeah.
Actually, if we're rating it.
That
What do you
one
got
was
there?
a solid one. The other one was like, Penta, please, Penta. All AD carries, please, I'm begging.
know.
I will say though, that was a better Penta than a Smolder Penta kill. You know, that was
I
a
agree.
real
Yeah.
one. Zaya is an honorable AD carry.
Yep. Playing by the same rules as everyone else.
Uh-huh.
Did everyone see the Smolder Penta stat? Where like the
Yes.
number of games
Yeah.
for this many
That
pentas
was
is 3 times faster than
crazy.
everyone. This is the good Penta though. Honorable Penta kill.
Except he's groveling at his knees for a Penta.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
most Penta kills are AD carries, you know, running behind their team and picking up the kills.
Yeah.
But
He did a lot of work that.
really wholesome. I want to hear the comms again. I want to hear the comms again, please.
it is also really cool because Jig seem to have found their form playing around AD carry, which is more difficult now, I'd say. But yeah, because XU had talked about how Smolder is our champ, et cetera, but they seem to be a pretty bot lane focused team around Tomo, and Tomo and Owls have been, I think, outperforming expectations.
What you holding there?
I'm holding our remaining scenarios.
Oh my God.
There's not as many.
It's almost as small as you now.
it's tiny.
It's what?
Raz.
It's as tiny. If you put it side by side.
I'd flip you off, but I can't do that.
What is happening? Waiting room is.
We do this all the time, Kobe. Do you not pay attention?
To the waiting room.
Do you not watch our show?
Kobe doesn't watch waiting room.
But yes, like Tomo's having fun. I actually love the interview that he had with Mazel on stage, where he's like, "What's the difference between this split and last split?" He's enjoying himself. Like he has like the team camaraderie. Wow, that was a harder word than I thought it would be. Is there, and like you could see him enjoying himself, having fun in game. The resources are flowing towards him, and honestly, you're having fun when you're not getting dove repetitively, which has been the state for Dignitas this split. They've actually been playing quite well through bot lane. I think they've been a pretty succinct team, and they could very likely make playoffs. Right now, they're in the top 6. I'm
Raz.
pointing at a screen that doesn't exist.
We'll get to that. You know
Okay.
who's not having fun?
Who?
Energy.
Oh.
Yeah, they haven't been having fun this week.
I mean,
It's been a very unfun
contracts
week.
are still kind of having fun. You know, team's losing, he goes against a Baron steal. That's always pretty fun.
If you get a Baron steal and a loss, is it still Baron steal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have to come back to win?
What? You're a jungler. You've lived this.
If I get Baron stolen and we win, I didn't get Baron stolen.
The jungler stealing Baron and still losing the game is the equivalent of like a top laner winning lane and then losing the game and be like, well, I won my lane.
Yes.
Jungle gets to be like, well, I stole the Baron.
You're
Guys.
going to be silent in reviews, folding your arms, being like, I did my job.
But I will say, it is kind of sad because we're seeing after a lot of these energy games, the players really disappointed. Palafox has had multiple tweeting out about like, this is my worst performance ever, was last week, and then another tweet following up this weekend today, already just like really disappointed in his own play. And yeah, I mean, they're making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, they're really self-critical of themselves. That's just the case for how their split has been. People have been making comparisons to their last split. At least in this one, just hearing from the players, they've been hyper-critical of just themselves and how they've been able to discuss. And if you see some of their games, like their goal leads, a lot of the times you've casted them, and their mid game to late game have been scrambling to be able to retain those leads. But at least in their early games,
so this was a
bit of a
comeback.
struggle.
This one actually worked, but they were down 6,000 to Immortals.
A huge amount. So like in this game specifically, it took Contracts getting that Baron steal that you referenced for them to get back into this game. And it was actually quite a few steals for this one to be even legible. And even before the break, they've been having pretty poor early games. And if you go to their Flag Quest one, even though it's a little bit of a dip, it was like 1.3K. And if you look at the games themselves, it was Dokla actually having a pretty large lead in the top lane, but still mid jungle for Flag Quest was pretty much farming the map. So like, even with the mistakes that were being made, NRG was trying to scramble to get the leads back. And yes, this is like 13 minutes into the game where FlyQuest had a sizable advantage. And those are just two of many examples throughout the split. So first things first, let's get the early games right. And
then they don't even have to steal Baron to win the game.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Standings. There's a lot at stake today, the final day of the Spring Split regular season. FlyQuest and 100 Thieves are not actually tied for first because FlyQuest holds a 2-0 head-to-head, so if FlyQuest wins, they're first. The only way 100 Thieves gets first is with a win and a FlyQuest loss. But the big thing is all these tiebreaker scenarios we're going to have between 3rd and 7th.
Save us.
A lot of stuff can happen there. Cloud9 can lose and create some four-way ties. Shopify can win and create some four-way ties. Here's the match order. Tiebreakers pending. They would be at the conclusion of these 4 scheduled games. Lots riding on that Shopify Cloud9 game. Both of our 4 tiebreaker scenarios exist with a Shopify win over Cloud9. So that will be a big game that decides how long this day is. And also a reminder, since we haven't talked about it that much, the playoff bracket. So top 4 is very important because that sees you into the upper bracket, whereas 6 and 7 will start in the lower bracket. 5 and 6 are not going to be playing each other immediately, though. They will be playing the losers of those first 2 series. And if you look in the fine print, playoffs is actually starting on Thursday. March 14th. Thursday. We're going to say that a lot today. Thursday.
Yeah, and we have games Friday and Saturday and Sunday after that, too. So it's just, we're going to have games all the time.
4 days of LCS playoffs next week.
I love playoffs.
Me too.
Same.
You know what we're going to get to find out in playoffs?
What?
If Cloud9 is actually good.
this Cloud9
or if
back.
100 Thieves is actually good.
Cloud9 back has been so funny because right after the break, like, oh yeah, sure, we're back. A little bit rocky on one of the wins, but now losing to Immortals again, restart the memes. Restart the memes.
The pendulum.
You're new here. Is Cloud9 back? You're new here.
Cloud9 is back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounded very convincing.
I mean, this is hard, right? We just saw the standings.
Yeah.
Who is the favorites? Like right now.
FlyQuest.
Who is the second favorites?
100 Thieves.
Really?
Are
So,
they?
what? 100 Thieves versus Cloud9, first round of playoffs. Today, you're like, I think I'd pick 100 Thieves.
Cloud9 are trolling.
Will they be trolling in playoffs?
I think so.
I just can't get my head around it still. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I
think you got to get with the times. I'm also
True. Sniper is with the times.
I mean, I'm
He's
also
doing the what is it?
Who are you gonna vote for All Pro mid, JoJo or Quid? Because I think Quid deserves it.
I'm not doing JoJo.
I'm saying right now, I'm putting Quid over JoJo.
What about Jensen?
You know, Jensen's got a.
He's gonna be first place after today.
We'll see about that. Honestly, though, everybody has been underestimating 100 Thieves the entire split. So I feel like I'm going to jump on the train earlier.
Okay.
So I'm ready for it.
So you're on the 100 Thieves train.
Going into playoffs hot.
If you know it's going to be a bandwagon and you hop in first, are you still a bandwagoner?
Yeah, except it's my wagon.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Kobe is driving the wagon. I think the other big thing with 100 Thieves is that in most of their wins, they don't look like insanely dominant.
Yeah.
Right? So like, and I'm not saying they're like fluking their way to wins either, because it's not that. It's not like one big play and then it happens. It's more gradual than that. But I think you look at the names on this roster, which is part of it, right?
Yeah,
because
Meech,
that was a
Ayla,
huge
Quid, Sniper.
That was a huge part of why people were so high on C9,
Is name
myself
recognition,
included,
yeah.
is name recognition. But then I'll be really curious to see them during playoffs, because River, by far and away, is the most experienced player on that team.
Yeah.
By like a very significant margin, especially if you then include his like PCS, LMS days as well. And the rest of the roster is really, really young. So that's actually why I'm super curious to see them in playoffs, because rosters like that tend to either do really, really well or like fall off. Like they carry their momentum or they just like fall off a cliff.
As far as mid laners playing right now, Quid is the best mid laner in the league as well.
He does have 6 player of the games.
Yeah,
And that's on a team with River.
Yeah, that's
Which is
just under
very,
half
very
their games.
impressive.
And the only thing that's, I think what makes the conversation there for JoJo is that, like, in the C9 losses, he is still playing well. Like, that happened in actually both the 100 Thieves games. But, like, the Akali game that he had just yesterday, I was like, okay, he's having a great laning phase, but obviously if you're Akali and you're going versus Talia and Vi, you're going to get completely, like, knocked up and destroyed.
So why did they do that again? It was like the second time they've done that.
Caught. I mean, I don't know.
If we're comparing C9 and 100 Thieves, right?
Yeah.
The win column currently. I want to pull up the playoff tool behind us as well, as we're talking about this,
Yes.
to just have everything.
Oh, that was
top of mind.
fast.
So like,
Yeah, wow.
in the win column, they're separated by 2, which would literally be like one head-to-head. 100 Thieves doesn't beat Cloud9, they'd be tied. Is the cheapest way to say 2 games doesn't matter, even though it does. Anyway, where I'm getting at, I think 100 Thieves drafts have been probably the strongest in the league, and Cloud9's drafts are probably close to the weakest in the league. I would hope, like, I kind of feel like that could be possibly resolved for playoffs. The other really weird thing for me about 100 Thieves is they have the worst early game of every team in the LCS.
Oh, that's
The
great.
worst gold at 15.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
so
take the fewest
statistically.
plates per game, right? Yet they're tied for first. Part of that is because LCS just has ridiculous parity this split. And statistically, everyone is so close to each other. But that, of all the possible red flags, would be, okay, you can't be the worst early game team in the league and be the best team in the league.
But
I
you-
don't think those things can be
You
incongruent.
also can't have a heist if you're already winning. You have to have a bad early game, and then you have a heist, and that's how you
Yeah,
win.
you just wanted to make the heist joke.
They're on theme.
You would never say that if it was Cloud9.
Of course not. Like Cloud9 need to win the early game.
Okay, tiebreaker day.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We have predictions. I guess I'm going to go first, I think.
Go for
All
it.
right.
I'm going to say what I think is going to happen today. And then we'll see.
It's on the screen right now, actually. They're straight,
We
they're down
added an
straight to the
extra column
spoilers.
on the tool, but here's my predictions for the day. So I got TL, Energy, Cloud9, FlyQuest. All of us are picking Cloud9, all of us picking FlyQuest. So that's not
I'm
going to be
shocked
that many
that
tiebreakers.
Me and the Discord are the only people picking 100 Thieves against NRG.
Yeah.
You're shocked?
The 100.
Not
Kobe,
shocked.
I thought you were on the wagon.
That's obviously like.
I am on the wagon.
You just predicted Energy to beat.
Yeah, because I love energy. I feel like energy are crazy. They're going to
You
upset.
can't be on every wagon at once.
They upset people.
You got 2 feet on each wagon. 1 foot on each wagon.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to show my predictions. We added this column over here that says like how many tiebreakers we'd have. So it's self-explanatory. I hope you can figure that out.
Yep.
My predictions were Team Liquid to win the first game. I said Energy's going to win the next one because I'm not on the 100 Thieves wagon. It's cost me dearly in the prediction game.
Yeah.
Then I just picked the favorites for the last 2. And what that would do, we'd actually have no tiebreakers.
Wow.
So those are very boring predictions.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Boo.
Who was different?
I was different. I'll go up
yeah.
first.
I think we're all different. a little bit.
Raz is the. I think you flipped on what?
I'm pretty much, I'm good on all of these except
What did you change?
IMT's been dropping bombs.
They have been. You're going blue side all the way.
I'm going blue side the entire way.
So that gives us a tiebreaker between TL and Dignitas for the 5-6.
Which is a meaningless one. No, it is purposeful. It is purposeful because, of course, that is seeding means if you're, first or second, who will be facing who.
And then Emily picked Hundro Thieves.
Yeah.
Hundrel?
So just toggle
here,
it. And Emily,
sure.
you did TL as well,
Couldn't
right?
do that.
So I basically did, I went 100 Thieves and then TL.
And that gives us the tiebreaker between Energy and Big for 5th and 6th.
Be this one.
So something.
This is a resolved, because like we covered,
Yeah.
FlyQuest have the head-to-head over 100 Thieves, so
Yeah.
even though their record is the same, 100 Thieves making first requires a FlyQuest loss.
Yeah. So for tiebreaker enthusiasts, I know our stats guy's a tiebreaker enthusiast.
Liam,
He is.
yeah.
This game right here, this Cloud9 Shopify game, would just jump us to 3 tiebreakers. But if I just deselect the other 3 games and show the difference, if you move your eyes to the far right here, 4 tiebreakers in 2 scenarios, 3 tiebreakers in 1 scenario with this win. As soon as Cloud9 wins this game,
Oh,
we couldn't have more than 2 tiebreakers.
headshot.
So if you want to watch a lot of League of Legends on your Sunday, you're big Shopify Rebellion fans. And okay, here's my most chaotic scenario here. You see Shopify Rebellion here at 6. You basically have to keep everyone else at 6. So FlyQuest has to beat Dignitas to keep Dignitas at 6. TL has to stay at 6 with an Immortals win. Energy has to stay at 6 with an Energy win. And you would end up having, I think, the best tiebreaker scenario. 4 games, unresolved 4-way tie with the last place missing playoffs and the first place getting to be in the upper bracket. That, to me, is by far the most exciting day. So Immortals, Hundo Thundo, Shopify, and FlyQuest would give us the best possible day. And then Sven's going to cast the final 4 games. We're going to blow his voice out if this happens, which is going to be amazing.
Some of the people in the chat definitely want tiebreakers, so they want the
Yeah.
chaos. So they're
I should hope
alongside our
so.
stats guy.
Most
Yeah.
people I
Yes.
know always want maximum chaos.
Yeah.
Do you want maximum chaos?
Hell yeah! Yes, I do. I want the scramble, you know? I want to see the fear in their eyes when they're up against the wall and you're like, oh, are we going to make it into playoffs? Only one team gets to get in.
True.
Yeah.
Those moments are really fun.
And you can get those surprise drafts because in the actual tiebreakers, it's very similar to our playoffs where you don't have, it's not pre-recorded drafts.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be different.
we'll also get to do more stuff.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the longer the day goes, the more like loopy people get,
Yeah.
and then
True.
you get some more funny content.
And with where we're starting, who knows where it can go.
It's just going to go off a cliff. It's going to be great.
One thing, before the whole week started, when we had 12 possible games and like thousands of scenarios, people in Discord could submit like their number, their line for what they thought would happen. One fan, only one person is still right.
What?
So it's HFleb on Twitch, I guess, is the only person whose early prediction is still in play. And today they have Immortals, Energy, Shopify Rebellion, and Fly. I want to see what that does.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah.
Immortals, Energy,
It's just that.
So help me
and then he
God,
said
this guy's-
Shopify, right?
Yep.
And Fly.
Yeah.
And then I need him to predict who wins the
Yeah.
tiebreaker. So then he'd also have to predict this game, Dignitas versus Team Liquid tiebreaker 5-6. If this happens, if this guy predicts 13 games in a row, I'd be seriously impressed.
we gotta give him something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
Okay,
give-
that's on you.
What?
Because we're not announcing a giveaway out of the blue. So
Also, there's a lot of legal that goes along with giving
Yep.
stuff away.
I'll give you a handshake.
there we go. All right. Good stuff,
Yeah,
Raz.
thank God.
Okay, last
Scared
day of the
me.
regular season. All Pro and MVP are also going to be pretty crazy. With the end of the regular season in sight, we asked our pros who they think should be the Kia MVP, and many of them had opinions. Some of them had many opinions. Here they are.
The MVP question, right? Oh, okay. It'll be a good one. I honestly think Bippo has shown like a really good performance so far within the LCS. And as much as I don't want to say that like he's obviously #1 for MVP, I kind of have to give it to him because he's just been playing good like every game. So yeah, Bippo.
I think the Kia MVP will be either Quid or River on 100 Thieves or Inspired Bippo on FlyQuest, if not including anyone on C9.
This split MVP is Inspired.
Probably Quid. I mean, he got the most player of the games, and I think there's a lot of hype surrounding him. So if it's not him, I don't know who it would be, because I think that obviously he's the most valuable player compared to everyone else in the league. I think FlyQuest player. I don't know. I think me and Inspired griefed each other a bit too much to get MVP. So
I gotta give it to River. I think like an MVP is someone who brings their whole team up, and I think that team is like really, really different if he's not playing the way he is and controlling the team the way he is. So
Quid will win Key MVP this split because
I think he's been the best performing player on his team, and they beat all expectations. I think everyone expected them to be a bottom 4 team, and I think they're surpassing expectations. However, I do think that JoJo does deserve to be in the MVP talk because I think he's been playing really well, even in our losses.
To me, it's like Inspired or Sensen, I think.
I think JoJo Pyong is MVP. Yeah, Quid is really good too. And then he almost 1v9 today. And then I want to say Quid.
I would say if I had to choose any single person, it would have to be like probably Quid.
I think Quid is gonna win, and because people didn't expect 100 Thieves is gonna do this well, and I think Quid is leading them.
JoJo should be the MVP of the league. Honestly, I think he is the player that probably has the most impact on his team. Like, obviously you can have an argument for River or Quid, but I think as the individual player, I think JoJo is probably the best in the league.
Quid, JoJo, or Sniper, I think. Actually, River's been playing really well too. Yeah, I don't know.
The wagon.
The Quid wagon?
Quid wagon.
So you're on the
100 Thieves
you're on the
wagon.
100 Thieves wagon, then you predicted Energy to beat 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
They don't have to beat Energy to make playoffs. They're in playoffs.
They're top 2, actually.
So they're fine. They already have 2 lives in playoffs even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, fans at home, remember you can cast your own votes for Kia MVP and Kia All-Pro this year, so head over to KiaLCSAwards.com to place your vote. So basically, I believe the way that works is the fans will have their own ballot depending on who they end up voting for, and that'll be looped in with everyone else's ballots, and then we'll have our MVP, which is exciting. It sounded like a lot of people, I think Quid's gonna win.
That's a lot of Quids.
Yeah.
More Quids than I expected. I thought I would be seeing a lot more Inspired. What are they doing? What are you doing to
Cleaning
your
keys.
keyboard?
You never cleaned your keyboard before?
Not on stage. Well, I've never been on stage.
I mean, this is why he's been a pro for so long. He's fastidious.
Oh my God.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
He's torquing those guys.
Did you hear Double Lift's co-stream yesterday when they were talking about Impact? They were so complimentary how Impact over all of the years, even since winning the world championship, all these years later, is still the first one into reviews and the last one out of reviews.
Yeah.
Always just grinding the game, talking about the game. He's so focused, and he even cleans his keyboard before every game.
It's actually so easy to at least have one split where you're losing motivation. It's actually crazy that he has what you just said basically, because I didn't hear that in that co-stream, that he's still as ambitious, as motivated after how many years in the game.
All right, what is he using those bottom keys for, though? You don't use those too much in League.
Oh, the producer just told me what we're seeing, but I couldn't hear it.
Sad. If you guys can just yell into his ears now, that'd be great.
Oh, a hand warmer got into his keyboard.
What?
So that's why he's cleaning
he
it.
He had like a Svenskeren moment where it like exploded.
That's unlucky. Anyway.
How does that happen?
It is unlucky.
Team Liquid has had a lot of ups and downs recently.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of really close games. The team really hasn't put things together, as well as there being a huge amount of internet drama yesterday regarding the team.
Yeah, there were also other things on that stream I was talking about.
There's a lot of up and downs happening, but here's some of the highlights from their wins and losses these last few days.
I mean, this is the zoo comp from the other day, and then I believe we're gonna go into a Dignitas dive bot lane.
Does Nautilus count as an animal?
He's the
he's the zookeeper.
He's keeping the other animals.
Got the hook and stuff.
But I will say the most frustrating thing about TL is that they sometimes manage to put together really, really clean games, right? Like I think of their game against C9, for example, before the break, where they were so good and so clean. And then they have games like this where Dignitas, as you see UmTi dying to the minion, we have games like this where it ends up that, Dignitas had a really good game plan. They set up that bot lane dive really, really well. And then it all kind of unraveled from there. So it's really frustrating because we've seen this team perform really well. Not just like the players themselves, but as a team, as a unit, put together really good games. They're just so inconsistent from game to game.
Yeah, I think the one thing we've complimented them on throughout the split has been their macro. But the biggest question has a lot of been is like, who are they playing towards? Who is their carry? Impact has great games, right? But like APA has been struggling massively this split. We just came off of an Aphelios game where Yeon struggled, and those are their 2 carries. And coming into this split, I imagined Team Liquid to be playing towards bot lane pretty aggressively because that was the lane that I thought would be the one that would be flourishing the most. That has not been the case. So for a team that I think has been kind of wavering in identity, that one win that they had in that Zoo comp, the ASOL plus Smolder comp, they actually fell behind massively in that game. So the fact that they even came back into that game is a miracle to me. Yes, great scaling, but teams like FlyQuest shouldn't be dropping those early games to begin with. So they do have a lot to work on to be playoff ready.
Yeah, well, speaking of playoffs, a win will get them playoffs. Impact almost always makes playoffs. He's recovered from his hand warmer incident. You can see his keyboard is put back together.
Nice.
Let's hope he doesn't have any issues. And in theory, to make playoffs 16 times in 18 splits, you'd have to have pretty good mental. And on Pros this week, Impact talked about how UmTi's mental is even better than that. Take a listen.
Actually, best mentor, like have mentor in the game. I shocked that because that situation, if me, I'm gonna say,
boom?
I'm doomed. You know? Like in that situation, I never die to solo lane and prison wave. You know, but he said I'm fine still. I can try my best to be comeback, and he tried to find the way. That's how I like that he mentality wise because he never never negative. You know, like in the game too. So he tried to find the win condition, not like. It's not automatic play, you know. So I like him more. Also, surprised to me, he English so much better than me.
Specifically Breon, I think, when they were really looking at him performing on that team where he came in with the nickname The General from the LCK cast. I think he's not only known for kind of leading that team, you know, in game, but also leading them by example just through being tilt-proof, essentially.
It's always so nice to have someone who's funny on your team to break through the tense moments when there are arguments. And UmTi is hilarious. Every single time we hear from him, every single interview, this guy delivers. He's really such a valuable component of the squad that they've picked up.
Yeah, absolutely love his energy. One interesting thing about yesterday, though, Team Liquid will be playing against Immortals today. Immortals is eliminated from playoffs, and they were eliminated from playoffs yesterday.
They're unleashed.
When they did this, they beat Cloud9. They're undefeated since being eliminated from playoffs. And I do think, jokes aside, they have removed a lot of pressure from themselves, and I think we're able to play very free, which we've seen in kind of the history of the LCS. That usually makes teams better in the short term. So Immortals is not a free win here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that trap is something that people have talked a lot about, Kobe, right?
But Immortals, half of their wins are against Cloud9 only, you know? Literally half of their wins are just beating Cloud9. So, I mean, are we really going to transfer that to Team Liquid? That might be a singular issue.
I do think they're going to have a little bit of spice in the draft today. I mean, yesterday they first picked Jace. So, you never know. They're just going to pick what they want, and Team Liquid's going to have to deal with it. But we are very close to the first game of the day, Immortals versus Team Liquid. Let's head up to the stage to get into it. Oh, last week of LCS regular season.
I can't believe how well 100 Thieves have done. They're contesting for first.
I'm just excited for another Contracts Baron seal. Those games have been crazy.
IMT already beat C9. Shopify can still make playoffs.
All of our best scenarios have Shopify beating Cloud9.
We could have 4 tiebreakers today.
And Sven is going to be here to cast all of them. To tiebreakers!
Tiebreakers!
Welcome to the final day of the 2024 LCS Spring regular season. In our first match, Immortals Progressive are looking to play spoiler again after upsetting Cloud9 yesterday, while Team Liquid Honda want to end the regular season on a high note. Next up, Energy Kia look to lock themselves into the playoffs, but will have to overcome a 100 Thieves squad fighting for first that nobody expected to be so dominant. In Game 3, Cloud9 are going to have to try and pick themselves up and lock in a top 3 spot after yesterday's loss, but they'll have to do it against a Shopify Rebellion roster hungry for a miracle run to the playoffs. Finally, FlyQuest need just one more win to lock first place, but after a strong showing yesterday, Tomo and Dignitas want to keep the momentum going heading into the playoffs. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Alexander Automeeting. I'm joined by Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler. We're back at it again. We're going to deliver you some hype games today. Immortals starting off the day against Team Liquid.
And Immortals starting off the day with a Dragon ban. No more Aurelion Soul for APA. Team Liquid had the double Dragons comp. Yesterday, too, Team Liquid suffering the loss at the hands of Dignitas, getting pentakilled by Tomo. They have to bounce back in this game. Incredibly important for Team Liquid, locking into playoffs. They are so focused as well. Saw them coming in today, talked to them a little bit as they were walking in. They are locked in for this game. Immortals may be eliminated, but they may also be unleashed.
That's right, and we saw what happened against Cloud9 yesterday. No one was expecting Immortals to bounce back so well and have such a dominant performance against what we thought was going to be one of our top performances going into the beginning of this spring split. The first round of bans have been concluded. Team Liquid taking that Ivern away from Armao. What do Immortals want to prioritize? Senna is available for the taking.
Senna and Smolder both up right now. And remember, we don't have the hotfix for Smolder in, so don't have the cooldown nerf that was put on the ultimate. So a lot of teams really do prefer that side of it. But what has been most important in the LCS is how do you kill whatever AD carry the opponents go for. And the Vi has been a prime pick for that. Really, really high important pick here for Armao to be able to lock down with whichever way Team Liquid go.
Yep. And a common combo that we've seen with the Vi is that Taliyah. Will Team Liquid look to break that up during this first round of picks? Or will they try and prioritize a strong bot lane setup alongside maybe a jungle lock-in? They're hovering a lot of ADs, but that Smolder Dragon is just too damn strong to let go.
Back on the Smolder for Yeon. Now, we usually like to wait a little bit and try and get a support counter pick as well when you pick Smolder. See if the opponents are going to go AD carry and support for their next 2 picks. But if not, then just in general, get a defensive pick down there. The Braum, Janna even, types of things popping up. Let's see what Team Liquid want to go for now, though. Jungle maybe here. Get something for UmTi so you don't get pushed too far down, so you don't have to drop it too far. APA and the champion pool, probably the most scrutinized champion pool in the LCS, quite possibly, with Aurelion Soul banned out, immediately locking in the Ziggs. Such good wave clear. And whenever you have a Smolder, another way to stall as well. Now you've got Ziggs and Smolder. Incredible wave clear just with 2 picks here for Team Liquid. They definitely have the capabilities to stall. But you were mentioning as well possible pairings with Vi. The Taliyah is an exceptional one that people have used a lot. Ahri is also a go-to. Whenever you have the point and click plus the assassin mid lane, definitely dangerous.
And the nice thing about an Ahri versus Taliyah, it's a lot easier to jump into the backline with that Vi thanks to that Spirit Rush. Immortals are also going to round off that first round of the draft with the Kai'Sa lock-in, a pick that we've started to see creep up everywhere globally.
And so whenever you see full dive like this from Immortals, in their first picks, very clearly, this is going to be a dive comp. Team Liquid are starting to think, Poppy, any sort of these counter-engaged champions. Already you have the minefield from Ziggs, which is pretty good, but drafting a couple more of those counter-engage options would really go a long way.
You already mentioned the Poppy. Another option that comes to mind is if you want to go down the support route. I think you mentioned at the top of the day, Braum, great for slowing things down, throw down that Glacial Fissure, create that slow field as well. Rel, and now Team Liquid are starting to look at what supports they can take away from Immortals to further enhance and elevate that dive comp.
Yeah. Because sometimes, even if you have counter dive and they have dive, if they just have too much, then
you just gotta overload it and
can't
people make
stop
it through.
Rel is definitely a good ban here. Obviously, is super common pairing there with Kai'Sa. So let's take a look at Immortals though. Do they want to ban out defensive supports and Smolder pairings? Or are they just going to go for the things that I mentioned? The Poppy, you definitely don't want to go, dive headlong into that one. I kind of like this, using your last 2 bans there to just do kind of comp protection.
What other junglers come to mind for Team Liquid when you want to just push opponents away? Xin Zhao, not so bad with the Crescent Guard.
Well, I'd say since the Vi is locked in, like there are other options for dueling. I kind of like what the options you're bringing up. Xin Zhao, sometimes it's really hard when you're facing a dive comp though, and you can get like picked off in the river or something like that.
Sure.
You do have to be a little bit scared, so I would like something with mobility for UmTi, so that he'll have a couple of options and you can go do some face checking. I'm assuming they're going to get a pretty beefy support as well, so you can have a beefy like jungle plus support to do the vision work and face checking, since you do have really good wave clearing and scaling here with Smolder plus a Ziggs combination. And it looks like Immortals also kind of thinking along those lines. So the Sejuani with the dash, a very safe tank jungler.
Yeah.
Tank junglers basically have just completely taken over now with the Knight's Vow rush. Everybody's basically running tank jungles. The carries have really gone the way of extinction, unless you're Milky Way and playing in the LPL, or maybe unless you're UmTi. All right, some dueling power probably. I like this. Volibear makes his way back onto the Rift. This is definitely a bridge jungle.
Sure.
A lot of early game power here. So we'll see if Volibear plus Renekton topside is enough of a focus for the early game. They can maybe control grubs on topside, really focus on those two, especially when they both have flashes up. It is incredibly dangerous. So let's see what kind of safe pick Castle could play into it. Locks in the Gragas immediately.
I've been seeing the Gragas top lane starting to creep up a lot. I haven't checked the global records competitive-wise, but at least in solo queue, a lot of top laners have been prioritizing the Gragas. Just really safe to be able to duel back and create disengage with that explosive cast. If you try to dive under the tower at level 6, it can be such a problem. Team Liquid now seeing the Rakan from the side of Olleh, locking the Tahm Kench, even extra safety and disengage.
I saw someone in the crowd yesterday with a sign that said, "Bench the stench," and I was like, wow, that is a more offensive Tahm Kench bench calling than usual.
We're just assuming Tahm Kench is a smelly catfish. He has a top hat.
I mean, honestly, it does kind of track. He is the River King for the swamp, so
true.
Maybe it does actually track, but it is going to be unbenched. The Kench has been unbenched by CoreJJ. Definitely has put a lot of time in on Tahm Kench. And of course, when you're running Smolder, looking for ways to keep Smolder alive and keep Smolder stacking. So CoreJJ will be the safety net here for Team Liquid. And it does mean Team Liquid, basically the only early game play is on the top side of the map with Renekton and Volibear. Possibilities there. So probably looking at grub control, focus up there. Castle, I think he'll be fine though. Gragas is very, very good at denial. He's gone for the grasp Gragas as well.
APA might be in trouble here. Here's caught between everyone, and there's just no point to try and flash. That's first blood for Immortals.
The distraction. Tweets coming in as well. Not even looking at it. Impact is here. They want to stall it. They let the recall go off, so Vi is out.
CoreJJ is also here, but Tactical is here before Yeon, so Impact takes a lot of damage, but Castle is forced to recall as well.
Man, Armao, though, getting to start with a longsword here on Vi is going to have an accelerated clear. He did start Q, though, on Vi, which is suboptimal as far as skills. Maybe they'll just give him a leash on the first camp because of that. So get to his W right after this. And with the extra longsword, we'll be having a pretty smooth early game here. At the very least for Team Liquid, you can say APA didn't flash. He resigned himself to the death in level 1, although, it's rough to die there for level 1. At least you don't now have to worry about repeat ganks.
and being taken advantage of, because a lot of teams have focused on the mid lane for Team Liquid, especially in the early game.
Ever since the beginning of the split, APA has been the target of many teams in the early game, as Yeon is going to get ignited early by Olleh. Immortals bot lane just trying to fight for lane pressure. The exhaust comes out as well from CoreJJ, so it is an exchange of summoner spells early on in the game.
Oh, I think we're going to get a red side clear Volibear gank. This is a solo queue specialty. 3 camp topside gank here. It is indeed focusing the Volibear, Renekton topside. They both have flash. Good luck, Castle.
All right, UmTi, how do you play this one out? Castle is trying to chunk out Impact, but he's got Max Fury. Gets a little bit of healing there. UmTi goes for the stun as well, and he cuts off Castle's escape route with the Sky Splitter, and he flashes in front of the body slam to make sure he's going nowhere. That's a kill for UmTi.
Well done, General. And it is not even going to cost them much. It's pretty quick on the gank. UmTi goes for the recall to reset to his other side. And Armao did not go over there to counter jungle at all. He had already made his way up to the blue quadrant, hit on his own side. He's not looking for a repeat here, right? All right, he's just checking around, making sure Volibear didn't try and get anything afterwards. And so nice little move here for Team Liquid, getting them back on track in the early game. Giving up the first blood at level 1 is not the ideal play, but that Volibear Renekton, that was basically your only early game option, and they make it work.
Shout out to CoreJJ. 370 games played in the LCS, passing Apollo for 17th all-time in the league.
Nice. Big pass. Number 17 taking over. He's had his eyes on that one for a while. I know it. Looks like, though, after bottom side clear here for Volibear, it's always interesting when you go for 3 camp ganks, because it really desyncs your jungle clear, your 2 quadrants, your respawn. So we'll see if he just does clear up into the top side again. I think that Castle now, since Castle also doesn't have flash, top side's a lot easier to be safe on. Maybe just ward the tri-brush up there. They did move in and get a ward on the second respawn for Raptors for UmTi. So
yeah,
when UmTi does get over to his second clear on his Raptors and Krugs, they will at least know that he's up on the top side again, and Castle can play accordingly.
Yeah, so Immortals operating with perfect information of UmTi so far. They even had the Scryer's Bloom to check when he was on that blue side jungle, so it allowed for Armao to make that ward on the Raptor camp even possible. So knowing that UmTi should be on the top side of the map, Olleh and Tactical will be safe at least for the next minute or so, while UmTi looks for something on this top side. He's currently hovering mid lane, but because there's a ward in that river bush, there's no plays to be made on Mask. However,
Yeah,
top side...
They're literally pinging UmTi right now. Blue ping was right on top of his head. Because of that ward in mid lane that you mentioned, even if he goes around the Scuttle Crab vision, they still know that he's around this area. And so it's to no surprise of either team, he immediately goes for the grubs. He's actually so sure about it that he smited the first one.
But
Almost always you will save your smite for the later ones. He sees the lanes moving, so he's got to get out of there.
Remember, UmTi doesn't have flash. He used it in the top gank against Castle. Armao commits his own to connect the ball breaker onto UmTi, but he's still walking away. Impact allows him to get himself out, but the flash from Mask after the body slam from Castle connects onto UmTi.
Yeah, a little bit too sure about that grub play there. Over vision, and Immortals say, that's illegal. No grubs for you. You can smite one of them, but you better get out of there quick. He goes down. Impact did his best. He was trying to peel for him, but the body slam has such a big area that even with Impact moving back a little bit, still gets the bump onto UmTi, and that is enough. They get the kill. Other 2 grubs go over to Armao, over to Immortals.
Now Impact has this timer to see if he can get some vision down. Doesn't look like he's gonna interrupt Armao fully. He does take out the ward thanks to that sweeper. But Impact just giving more information to at least his bottom side of the map to Yeon and CoreJJ that they can safely push that wave in.
Yeah, so remember, UmTi did go over that Scuttle Crab too, so they knew that he had the exact timing on starting them up, and support recall came out. Rakan was on the way. As soon as UmTi saw Castle move, he was like, uh-oh, I better get out of here. But it was already too late. From that flash that you mentioned, when he used on the first gank from top side, does get punished, but he reset back down to the dragon side of the map and immediately gets that objective for Team Liquid in payment.
All right, so objective control so far, 1 grub to TL as well as the dragon, but the other 2 grubs going over to Immortals. We'll see in the next 3 minutes on that second rotation of Grubs, and another 4.5 minutes from now, that second Dragon rotation. So far, even though APA died at the beginning of the game because he did not burn his flash, he has been fine in his laning phase.
Yeah, the kill did go over to the Vi, so at least for his sake, yeah, like it didn't affect his lane. Like you're saying, he didn't blow his flash or anything, so he's been able to just farm it out on the Ziggs for now. And he is going the Seraph's build as well, you know, investing in so much early mana with the tier as well as the Lost Chapter. And we'll be looking for that scaling 2-item power spike there. Meanwhile, Smolder trying to stack up on bottom side as well. 40 stacks, not too bad by 7.5 minutes. They've been kind of chilling down there.
This is pretty awkward for APA. He tried to recall, but he doesn't have teleport, so he cannot necessarily leave the lane. Mask was moving to see if he could threaten for a bot lane roam, but just moves, get some vision down first.
And since on the, you know, catch where they got UmTi off of Grubs, Mask used his flash. It doesn't have the super duper threat of Ahri with ultimate and flash for that play, so he's definitely thankful for that. But like you're saying, on the desynced recall, it is not a cannon wave, so these ones are all going to die. He's going to lose out all the melees. Maybe he can bouncing bomb. He's in range for the bouncing bomb. Nice.
At least he gets 4. Armao currently on the top side of the map. Impact is still does not have flash from earlier. There could be an opportunity. Cease and desist is available for Armao. Castle also having explosive cask at the ready, but Armao's dancing back and forth. He's trying to wait for the perfect bait.
Yeah, no flash on Impact, and Castle has his, so this should be a guarantee. They've got Gragas with flash and ultimate.
Probably just waiting on this cannon minion.
Oh,
See if Impact
no
can
hover.
be baited, but dodges. Oh, Impact styles on him! Dodges the body slam and the explosive cast. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, UmTi goes for the dive, and they already forced Tactical back. That's the end of both plays.
Oh my goodness, Impact dances in their faces. So much time used as well, hovering there. UmTi, though, as you mentioned, uses ultimate on bottom side and the flash. So it looks like they're going to avoid as well, but Impact still got it. The fancy feet, dodges everything.
29 years old, and he's still got the hands, bro.
Yes, sir. Cleaned out that keyboard right before the game, too.
Hey!
If you tuned in early.
That's
and
the
you
tech.
saw him, his hand warmer exploded, and he had to clean out the little bits of the hand warmer. But immediately got that solved. No problems there. Right back to lane as well. Has a CS lead for himself. Of course, they got that early gank, and we're able to get the early kill there. Nice little job here. Because you saw him press the ward, they immediately clear out some of that vision, and second spawn of Grubs is up. Remember, with 2 of the early ones for Immortals, Armao could try and go for the 5 here. At least getting 5 gets you 1 Void Might, and is certainly a very valuable objective. CoreJJ trying to punish them on the other side, though.
Looking for the Abyssal Dive that forces Spirit Rush out of Mask so that his ultimate will be expended here. Olleh's ensuring that Mask will be safe while he's pushing this lane back, but because UmTi is spotted on the bottom side of the map, there's no chance that Immortals should lose any of these Grubs.
Now, let's refocus on team comps well after Castle.
That's a flash.
Nice flash. Another thumbs up from Impact. He is having a very good day for himself. Bottom side is getting counter jungled, but remember the differences in these 2 types of teams here. Off of the mid game, Immortals are going to be looking for these heavy dive plays. Wait, I mean, they're just getting zoned off tower right now on bottom side. Yeon having the time of his life. Olleh and Tactical back between towers while UmTi was taking Krugs. And you've got a Smolder who's racked up 3 plates already.
He is swimming in the money right now. How many stacks does Yeon have at this point? That's what I want to...
Yeah, 76 it shows right there, so pretty decent stacking. It's always nice when you're both AD carry plus melee supports. It makes it a little bit easier. You know, he's always looking for his AoE snot balls through both of you, plus the minion wave if you can get them. So you can get those extra ones building up in the early game. The early ones, so much harder to get, but really help out with the stacking. And off of all the money that they got zoning down there in the turret plates, Essence Reaver completed for him already. It does mean on the reset, though, nice little advantage here from Immortals. Since there was such a long time they stayed out on the map there for TL. They go for the reset. Immortals pick up the Dragon. Dragons are split. No early Dragon Soul this game.
I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone at home, y'all, but the mountain dragon spawning just caused a huge rumble in the arena. That always feels super sick.
Yeah, which one's louder, the dragon spawn or Smolder calling mom? Because
true.
I have heard people talking about how loud that one has been as well. We'll see when.
APA, even if he flashes, but thankfully, outside of vision, explosive charges away.
They saw you, buddy.
UmTi is going to use the ultimate right onto Armao, and they throw the Kobe down. All so much damage on Armao, and he's got nowhere to run. That's a kill for APA.
I mean, yeah, they did see him, and Armao's thought process was, I've got my finished Sundered Sky, so I've got the tab advantage versus UmTi, finished item to just parts here. But if you don't hit your Q on Vi, you are at such a large disadvantage there, and he throws it in. The brush had a control word in it. Wasn't sure exactly where UmTi still was, even though they saw him sneak into the brush. UmTi moved out up to the top side. And then if you're not going to hit that, Volibear just crushes the 1v1 right there. And since both mid laners are here too, guess what? It's not even a 1v1. Easy follow-up damage from APA, from the Ziggs. They burst Armao down.
Things been looking pretty even so far between both teams. Almost 14 minutes, so plates will be falling in the next 40 seconds here. When we talked about at the beginning of the draft where UmTi picking this Volibear was just one to operate as a bridge so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's done exactly what you want. Basically what you want in a bridge is some sort of grub control, which they got out of the first gank topside, so that was their objective there. You know, Renekton and Volibear, great. We're not going to give up 6 grubs. We don't have to worry about, you know, accelerated tower taking against us. And then the other thing you want is one dragon. All you need is one dragon to buy you the time for Smolder stacking, and you have great wave clear with Ziggs. So job completed, really. Winning some of these skirmishes. Probably be ideal not to have that other death, you know, you're getting trapped inside the grubs, but they were able to at least take away one of them, so it wasn't a full 6 stack on grubs.
Tower exploded. APA gets the first brick. Immortals are trying to move in to see if they can cut him off. He has a flash. If he can maybe flash to the Tahm Kench and get eaten and swallowed alive, as he is saved. UmTi is already ulted backwards, but APA might be in trouble. No, it's just CoreJJ that gets caught out, a sacrificial lamb to make sure that the mid laner gets out alive.
Sacrificial frog, as is custom for Tahm Kench. He's there. They extract APA without APA having to use his flash, but one extra kill given over, and they didn't really get to push mid lane. Yeon's gonna at least be able to stack up there without anybody harassing him, but they don't get like any extra sort of objective.
All right, well, while things have calmed down, did you all know that playoffs start next week? We've got games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You'd be hard-pressed to find something that happens on more days of the week than that.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Starting on Thursday, playoffs, baby. Yeah. The funnest time of the year. UmTi actually has found Olleh here, but he is Rakan.
Yep. Very slippery. Grand entrance first, and then the battle dance to ensure that he can always jump to an opponent. Armao, does he want to look for something? It's not quite numbers advantage, but Castle is collapsing first. Armao doesn't have cease and desist, but UmTi looks for Castle first. They're going to try to find Yeon in the back end. CoreJJ does not have the ultimate to save him, but they have enough distance to get out of harm's way. The Rift Herald's going to be started up by Immortals.
All right. Honestly, they're going to brute force it here. I think it's good because they've got mid wave pushed in. Mask was able to get the wave all the way up to the tower, so APA is going to go mid instead. Should be an easy Rift Herald there for Immortals. Yep, and they get it. Nice commitment. Dragon will come up shortly as well, though, so they're going to go for the quick reset.
Oh, Olleh, is he in trouble? Forced to flash. All right, that's a summoner spell down off the support.
Yeah, definitely makes the engage a little bit less threatening. You do have flashes on Armao and Castle, so like it's still playable. You still have a lot of really good engage options on the sides of Immortals. Let's see about this one, as 26 seconds left means the resets here are probably a little bit late, and since UmTi is going topside for that Scuttle Crab first anyways, is going to be mid lane push. First for Immortals. Tactical will get that one going. They're just going to trade here. Team Liquid have decided. We'll give up the dragon. We got the first early one that we want, you know. We've got Smolder and you know, Ziggs scaling here, so let's just go for the tower gold and maybe the kill gold.
Oh man, Impact just walks past Castle. He's like, I don't care, we're taking down this turret. The turret falls, Castle might be in trouble. Using the ultimate from UmTi forces Castle's Flash's response.
Yeah, I love the call. You've got really good scaling there in your 2 carries. Go for the extra gold instead, and now you've taken out the flash on Rakan, you've taken out the flash on Gragas. Basically, it's just Armao and Mask now, the engaged flashes that you have to worry about. So the pick potential of this Immortals comp that is lined up with a lot of possible picks, a lot of possible dives.
Oh, Mom is being used just to try and see if they can chunk out Tactical, force the flash, to make sure that it was not lethal. Immortals on the back end of it, pick up the second dragon for themselves. Will there be a fight here? You already mentioned no flash from Rakan, no flash from Gragas. He has teleport if he needs to join the fight. He's currently on the top side of the jungle, so he would have to teleport in if they need him to try and disengage this. But TL, just bully Immortals off the river and move in.
I mean, this is looking pretty dang good for Team Liquid. 151 stacks on Yeon. They're basically assassinating Immortals flashes, going after everybody, getting all these key flashes off. And if they don't have the flashes, that threat isn't really there. I guess Ahri on 2-item power spike now is the main one. You're like, okay, Malignance plus Horizon Focus for Mask. That is a lot of burst damage.
Yep.
We do need to respect Vi Ahri.
Impact does have flash. The battle dancing coming in from Olleh so he can get in range for the quickness. Gets the charm down. Impact in a world of trouble. 1v3. Looks for the Coal of the Meek, but it's not enough. Healing, and Mask picks him up.
There you go. They get their pick on the side lane. They get the Vi Ahri in tandem. Impact down. Impact does have teleport though, and with the 30 seconds there, the wave was already pushed. So Team Liquid here should still be able to stabilize. Do a little bit of counter jungling while the bottom side was taken over. UmTi at least take over the Gromp. And it looks like it's just going to be that one kill.
I mean, considering the state of the game so far, like Team Liquid, even though there's been a couple of side lane deaths of one member being a little too overextended, it has not really given Immortals the ability to snowball and blow this game open. So far, as long as Team Liquid are minimizing these kind of costly plays, they're fine. They'll hit that scaling point, and it won't seem like Immortals will have an answer for it.
Well, we will see about it. Tactical on the Kai'Sa here. Does have the crit build with the Kraken first. We'll see about that Kai'Sa scaling compared to the Smolder. I think Yeon is on a pretty good pace here. We're approaching 20 minutes and he's got 177. For pro play, my expectations for the stacking is significantly lower than for solo queue. And since they do have the protection of the Tahm Kench, does look like it's not too far off hitting the 225. I think they'll be decently happy.
They're gonna find UmTi. He has flash available, and he gets swallowed up by CoreJJ to keep him alive, but they find AP on the backside, and there's no way that he gets saved out. The satchel charge does not save him. Mass picks him up. UmTi is able to trade one back onto Olleh, and now Immortals are on the right side of the flank. Blue buff caught in between. But the rest of Team Liquid, they can look to try and turn around this fight. They still have Yeon to put out the damage, but they have the prio towards mid lane, and they might just collapse there instead. As Impact forced off, but still has flash. He's not in any real danger, and Immortals trying to struggle to get themselves back to mid lane.
Nice little dive in there from Immortals, taking out mid lane, just giving up their support's life instead. Does actually open up mid here. Yeon got to stack a little bit more.
Explosive cast, not quite right. UmTi stands in front of Yeon to make sure the ball breaker cannot connect, and Yeon is kept safe.
No ult on CoreJJ, so they have to be a little bit more respectful here. UmTi walks up, and here goes the charge.
Knock up from the Rift Herald, but it's only onto CoreJJ, so he's not in any real threat. Mask is teleporting into mid lane. Does not have Spirit Rush available quite yet, I believe.
Immortals have to be a little bit careful, don't want to stick around too long. Everybody has respawned for Team Liquid. Sometimes your Rift Herald can be a bit of a bait in the mid game, so they're pretty wise here in backing off and not overstaying, I feel like. APA came down. Ziggs wave clear that we kept on mentioning from Champion Select. Olleh's getting a little bit of a beating right now from those bombs. But yeah, the wave clear coming in big again as he respawns, heads on down. They put a stop to that push.
Throughout this game, still so far, Immortals have not blown this game wide open, but Mask has a ton of gold, almost completing his Crypt Bloom. has the 2 components for it. He will be the first champion in the game that will have 3 item power spike. And I feel like as Immortals, that is the one play that you are hoping for.
And from Team Liquid side, when you're looking at that danger, you both have to mark Mask, but you also have to mark Armao. Volibear and Renekton, it's definitely worth it for them to move in and try and stun Armao on his Q. Don't let Armao get the extra distance there, because if Vi gets in there with a Q flash or something, oh, they're starting.
They're looking for it. CoreJJ already swelling up APA, but UmTi is taken as prisoner for the side of Immortals. Bomb comes through, gets some damage down, but CoreJJ might be in trouble. Impact stands in front. The rest of the backline, but Mask gets assassinated by APA, and now it's all Team Liquid in this fight. Castle forced to run. Impact already popped the dominance, as he's going to run him down.
Yep, Yeon also hit 225 in that fight. It's Smolder in time. The executes start coming through. Yeon's flying over the wall. They're going to feed him another one.
Here comes the stop bubble. Here comes the damage. Yeon picks up the execute, and down goes Castle.
All according to plan. The stacking comes in right in time for that fight. Yeon just got his 2-item power spike before it as well. The Sojin came in. Yeon is having the time of his life. They're even going to be able to get Dragon number 2 for themselves. A little bit more resistances for Volibear, for Renekton, for that front line. And let's take another look at how it actually started out, because Immortals definitely is a bit front-loaded with all their gauge. And CoreJJ right there saves APA from the brunt of the engage. Then Immortals are like, all right, fine, we'll take the Volibear instead. And so they get a kill, but saving APA is the key part. Big AoE damage in the counter engage here as Impact just ran right through them. And then you get the Smolder stacks coming in just in time. You get the executes on top of it. It's just so much AoE damage from Ziggs plus Smolder there that even though the first kill was UmTi, it was a very worthy sacrifice. Well done, General. That small little 143 damage, that doesn't matter. He did his job.
That's right.
And allowed the Ziggs plus Smolder.
Impact has just been clean with the movement. Sidestepping the charm. Mass has got nowhere to run. The mid laner's gone now from Immortals, and they might just turn to do the Baron.
Yeah, they certainly will. Huge advantage here. Castle does have teleport, but it's like, why even risk it going over there? Just keep split pushing. Immortals try and push in mid. Actually, they're going to go for it. Castle's coming over. They're walking over. Here we go. Armao does have flash. He does have smite.
He has a control ward in the pit. He has vision. They put 2 down. They're trying to slow down the fight. CoreJJ is engaged on APA with the stasis. Cancels out the cease and desist. UmTi with the ultimate jumps on Olleh. A tactical finds the assassination on CoreJJ, and he's out of there. Immortals have stopped the Baron.
Oh, nice counter there. They stop the Baron, and they get the kill on the drive-by here from Tactical. Sees it from the other side of the map. Gets the kill, gets out. Beautifully done.
All right. For now, Immortals have stopped the Baron's threat from Team Liquid, but it's still not enough to put them in a comfortable state as we take a look back at that replay.
All right, so they call Castle over. They're like, all right, we are not giving up a Baron. That's too much of a mid-game swing here. They try and fight it off, 4v5, going right in onto APA again. APA does have the Zhonya's there. He's able to deny that one, but again, huge amount of damage done to CoreJJ, and off the Gragas ulting him into the wall there, off onto the side. Tactical sees the angle, it's not too dangerous. He's able to go in, has the speed to walk out afterwards. There we go. Once
Impact. No flash. Has the dominance available. Currently in a 1v2, but Tactical is also starting to make his way down towards the bot side. So even if Impact survives these two, surely he gets cut off. The cease and desist is just going to try to lock him down here. Tactical will pick up the kill eventually. What can Team Liquid do while this is happening?
Really good pick here. Immortals playing the map better, making use of the pick potential. They lock down Impact again, and Team Liquid can't do anything else on the other side of the map. They push a couple waves. Great. Really nice job here from Immortals, jumping on TL as they're trying to push out the map, making use of this extra mobility that they have, sending multiple members down there. Let's see about TL trying to actually stabilize now. I mean, you do have plenty of stacks on Smolder, and the rapid fire is going to come in soon, so it's going to be easier to even apply that. Once you get your rapid fire, your Q, of course, the range increases also, so it makes it super duper easy. Looks like he's actually got the money already, so he's going to go back and buy that now. And as we've already seen, APA on Ziggs gets to stay really far back too, so the range on the TL carries is a really big part of it. And Immortals, their task is how do we close that range? You know, we pick people off in the side lanes, we make these fights really like stretched out so that Tactical can make use of his killer instinct and mobility, you know, picking people off, and that's the way that they've got right back into this one.
Yeah, open spaces is where Immortals will be able to thrive because then you can have multiple angles.
And side lanes!
And side lanes.
Here we
Impact
go.
is here once again. He has Flash, but I don't know if he's going to escape. The cease and desist connects. They get the slowdown from the barrel. Mask is here to guarantee the kill. And once again, Team Liquid are not in position to get anything done on the other side of the map.
Dude, look at this jungle. This jungle is lit up with blue wards. And Immortals just take advantage. They walk right in. They're like, hello, Impact. Yes, it's us again. Rest of the team for Team Liquid. They push one wave. Uh-oh.
Oh, Yeon just trying to fight the 1v1 against Tactical. Gets the flash out. Olleh tries to connect with the quickness, but only gets UmTi on the back. Tactical is able to get out, but they have the mid prio here, but Castle is teleported into the mid lane. Maybe he can look for a great barrel onto Yeon, but it just punts him into safety. Not quite the angle they were looking for. That's a huge bomb from APA. Gets some decent damage down into Olleh, but no one's executed yet. UmTi might be forced to save by CoreJJ. Gets him out alive. Mass taking a lot of damage, gets executed by Yeon. Not quite the execution they were looking for.
There we go, TL. They're going to take that sign and move right over to Baron. Scuttle Crab picked up for the extra vision. Let's see, TL, do you just call it and go for the dragon, or you say if we lose Baron, we lose the game, and you want to fight it anyway? I mean, they don't have Mask, the Ahri, the super fed assassin threat. Tactical is kind of the only one who could really save the game again, and Armao is just getting poked out before they even get up to it.
Yeah,
APA zone him off with the bombs.
Nice, and the rest of the Team Liquid members are just burning down the Baron. Armao cannot get in range as he's being punted off. Sub 1400, that's Baron secured for Team Liquid. Here we go, Team Liquid now with the Baron buff on their side. What can they do with the map?
Well, for sure, go grab this dragon. You don't want to give any other options to Immortals. They've already shown Immortals, they're very willing to just jump on anyone in a side lane, so TL don't want to leave an opening. If they do give up some more picks, or if a tight fight goes wrong some way, you don't want a slingshot comeback here. So they move on down, pick up the dragon, they'll reset and then push out with the Baron here. Should be able to pick up outer tower, probably push top and mid with their siege. From the side of Immortals, though, how much money more do we need for Mask to be able to finish that death cap? You finish the death cap and then you pray and you're like, all right, hopefully we can get this burst damage. You know, hopefully we can catch someone away from the Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
And Tahm Kench can't just eat them. But I would say feed as much money into Mask as you can. Right now he can, and he does get that cannon as well. Hopefully for them and for their possibilities of extending the game, that is enough to finish his death cap.
We'll find out. If he took Futures Market, he might have it, but I think it's 1,100 for the completion cost of Death Cap once you have 2 rods. So he's still, if he doesn't have Futures Market, then he's waiting on about 300 and change. His Team Liquid are just going to start the siege. Tier 2 turret falls in the top lane. Rest of Immortals hold their ground and try to buy time.
Team Liquid, remember, this game secures them playoffs. They are so focused right now. They pick their double scaling again. The Smolder, the Ziggs. Really smooth early game from Smolder too. Yeon got his stacks early, but here's the siege. Armao's looking around.
Mask jumps forward, APA dodges the charm. Forced to use the stasis, CoreJJ has to swallow him up. Actually doesn't even need it, he's able to buy enough time. Yeon takes the first execute, the second one goes down. It's a 5-on-3. This just could be the push that takes Team Liquid to the playoffs.
They're in the base, and they're looking like they're in playoffs. Here they come.
Damn the Immortals' resilience and persistence as they make one last-ditch effort. Tactical onto the backline with the killer instinct. Armao sends it all, but he gets executed by Yeon. Castle falls next. Tactical's the last one, and this will just be the last game of Immortals for the regular season. Team Liquid have the resilience and the fortitude to withstand and unleash Immortals and lock themselves into the playoffs.
Calm game from Immortals here. but not enough. Team Liquid too good. In the early game, UmTi here on the Volibear goes for the first gank up on top side with the Renekton. But really, as long as they just get one dragon and then allow Smolder to scale, Yeon had a pretty good timing on his stacks there for Smolder. They kind of cruised ahead. And then your Ziggs plus Smolder, really good range on those carries, really good clear. They were able to deny a decent amount of those dive team fights. CoreJJ's Tahm Kench, critical in that, saving key members. Despite some side lane pickoffs on impact, Team Liquid stands strong.
Team Liquid definitely taking a breath of relief now that they no longer have to worry about being knocked out of playoffs contention. There are still multiple tiebreaker scenarios up in the air for the rest of the day. But for us here, that does conclude our first match of the last day of the regular season.
There we go. All right, now they can focus on what's ahead. Playoffs. Let me remind you, Thursday we start. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
4 days, baby.
APA will be there. Will you?
A reminder that Fantasy LCS is happening over on Sleeper. Make sure you lock in your picks and bans for next week's games if you want to top your league. And we're going to be joining Jatt and UmTi on stage for the interview.
Thanks, Raafaa. UmTi, congratulations on the win. And congratulations, you're in playoffs. It's clinched.
Thank you, guys. Oh, is it working? Yeah. Thank you guys for like coming here and cheering us. And I think that yesterday was not a very good day for me because my Wukong was like 4k damage, like same as Rel. I cannot play like that way. But today is very satisfied, like a little bit because we just died at side a lot. I think I did a mistake to telling it, but I'm very glad to win today. Yeah.
What do you think the biggest difference was between yesterday's game and today's game to get the win?
I don't know. Yesterday just bad UmTi, I think. Yesterday was just bad, I think. What I can say.
So you've clinched playoffs now, but you can actually lock top 4 if 100 Thieves beats Energy and FlyQuest beats Dig. Do you have any advice for 100 Thieves to beat Energy so you can get top 4 without having to play a tiebreaker?
I don't care. I just want to meet 100 Thieves and just kill River.
All right, thank you very much, UmTi. Congratulations on the win and best of luck in playoffs.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And just a reminder for those of you at home, next week we have 4 days of LCS, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so definitely tune in for that. Once again, congratulations, UmTi, and we're going to break.
Hello, I'm Zazel, and today we're playing Bronze Comms.
I'm David, or Insanity, and today we're playing Bronze Comms. Green, jump.
Zach?
Yeah.
Thought you said the syllable part came easy.
This one is a little complicated. It's not part of my description.
This is a good way to make sure I get less guesses.
I'm not gonna lie, this one is like a little impossible. Play, fight.
Play? Fight? Don't you play every champ and fight on every champ?
It doesn't have to be a champion.
Wait, what does that mean? Play, fight? Summoner's Rift? I don't know. Scuttle-cram? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean here?
Here? LCS?
There you go.
Okay. Rift Eye.
Back?
Rift Eye. Eye of the Herald. Search of the item for Rift. Bow.
Ash.
Lamb.
Kindred.
This one's really easy, but I might be cheating. It's Try. That's the hint.
Try brush. Try force.
Yeah. Pass. This one's impossible. This is not easy. I see how you got stuck. Sky.
Blue buff. Anivia. Pantheon.
How did you get that? It was Cloud9.
won't stop till we